Well, I'll whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 rounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studios of beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee. It is 6 minutes past the top of the hour. It is Tuesday, August the 3rd, which means it's time to report. It's time to get your stuff, get your mind right. It is football only. Everything else you put to a side. You prepare your mind, your body for 4 weeks of straight football. Well, maybe a little bit shorter because school is going to start in later on in the month. But football, football, football. From the moment you wake up, from the moment you go to sleep, fall camp is designed to see who is the strongest. Who can you depend on? Who can power through being a little tired, a little sore, a little beat up? Oh, it's a little hot outside. Who's going to push through? Fall camp is designed to see who are the men amongst boys. Ben McKee, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jason Swain.
Yeah, busy evening, man. Busy recruiting evening in your world. Well, actually, the work was already pretty much done, huh?
Yeah, yesterday was not too busy.
Well, Tennessee got busy.
They did.
Tennessee got busy adding a very key piece to the 2022 recruiting class. Golly, man. 22. I remember when we were talking about the 15 recruiting class, or the 17 recruiting class, 22 recruiting class. Addison Nichols, 4-star offensive lineman. What would you say about that one, Ben? What do y'all say? What do y'all recruiting experts like to say?
He's a good get.
He's a good get. He's a big get for Tennessee. Austin Price of VolQuest.com will join us at 9 a.m. He has previously said that Addison Nichols is the most important player on the board for Tennessee. Most important player.
Because of the ties, you just can't miss out on an offensive lineman of his caliber when he has the type of ties to Tennessee and Knoxville the way that he does. I know we've detailed it many times here on the show, but grandparents live here in Knoxville, or neighbors with Rick Barnes, or live on the same street, which in my book is neighbors.
You neighbors.
That's right. Grew up going to games, basketball games, football games, Tennessee games. You name it, he's been to it. So plenty of ties to Knoxville. Austin likes to throw in that he even knows Miss Ruthie behind the counter at Long's Drugstore over there. So a Knoxville staple. So too many ties to miss out on somebody of this caliber. I mean, it was approaching very similar, not the type of player that Amari Rodgers or T. Higgins or Cade Mays was coming out of high school. Borderline 5-star.
I mean, Amari
wasn't like T or Cade level. But very similar situations to those three. You just can't miss out on those type of guys when you have them literally in your backyard or side yard. So big get for that simple reason. And you're bringing in Taven Jackson, who I think is going to be really good for Tennessee. And I think it's going to blow up this year in terms of rankings. I think he's really going to skyrocket after a good senior season. And you need somebody to protect his blind side. You don't really even have anybody right now who can protect the current quarterback's blind side, at least not a proven, legitimate SEC-level starter. That is one of the position battles going into fall camp tomorrow is who starts at left tackle. Kayron Calvert had his knee cleaned up over the summer. Appears to be moving around pretty good. He's my prediction to start at left tackle as of right now. Can he hold off Dane Davis? Can he hold off Jeremiah Crawford, the junior college offensive tackle that Tennessee signed? So that's a three-way battle, but no bona fide starting left tackle of the future sits on Tennessee's roster at the moment. Maybe you slide Cade Mays over to left tackle, but that doesn't really help the future of Tennessee or Taven Jackson because Cade is gone after this year. And even if Cade wasn't gone after this year, he's best suited as a guard. So you really need somebody to protect Taven Jackson's blind side, and that may be the biggest reason that this is a good get for Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, perfectly said, man. Perfectly said. You got to get those big uglies up front. Now, that's where it starts on the offense-defensive line, especially in this conference. Good that Josh Heupel understands that. That's 4 offensive linemen in this class, making that a priority. You got to win the battles up front. I don't care how many points you put up or how many yards you put up or how many plays that you run in the course of a game. You better be able to control the line of scrimmage. And Heupel understands that. He's been in this conference before, and it starts up front. Man, Tennessee – did Tennessee grab a kid with ties? Did Tennessee take advantage of I won't call it a layup because Tennessee did work hard to get Addison Nichols. We have seen where just because a young man has ties to Tennessee and grew up maybe a Tennessee fan, that means you still got to put in work, and you better have a situation that is inviting to him. And we've seen our fair share of players with ties to Tennessee choose to go other places because the football program was not appetizing to that player. But how about Josh Heupel and company? How about Josh Heupel and company? Big for more than just he's a good player, but showing that you can take advantage of ties like Coach Jones was able to do, Butch Jones was able to do in 2014 class. So that is good. And you're talking about a player in Addison Nichols that, from a personality standpoint, many feel like he could be a leader in the locker room when it's all said and done. You better listen to him, or he gonna hit you with that Ryukit, because he's a black belt. Hit you with that what's that? The Last Dragon, or that Daniel Russo, Karate Kid. Hit you with some of that, but. Now he has leadership qualities, and that's what you want as you're trying to change the culture around. And it's just not Tennessee. There's teams around the country in college football. There's also teams in the NFL. I was watching ESPN, and they were talking to Ron Rivera, the Washington football team. And one thing that he talked about, even though they won the division last year, went to the playoffs, they're trying to build on that, but they're still trying to improve the culture. And it's not necessarily always talking to you guys about what you want. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you got to go get guys and identify the personalities and the mental makeup that you're looking for, influencers in your locker room. You want to add those guys to the piece of the pie. Add those guys to the pie, and that is all part of the evaluation process. When you're sitting down with players, you're finding out what their reason why is, you're finding out what motivates them, you're finding out if they actually love football, or do they love what football can do for them? Are they in love with Twitter followers? Are they in love with the process more than the game? And when you find guys who are in love with the process more than the game, they are caught up in NIL. They caught up in Twitter followers, Instagram followers. You question and wonder, okay, how serious are they going to be when it comes to the game of football and in leading other people? So Addison Nichols, yes, he's a good player. Yes, he's from right down the road. Tennessee, he's always done a good job in Georgia. But he is someone, from a culture standpoint, is a very valuable piece. From a culture standpoint, he's a 5-star. Mm-hmm. He's a 5-star player for you.
So you're saying he has a 5-star heart? He's a champion of life?
I'm gonna say he's a cultural 5-star. I'm saying everything I can to not say he has a 5-star heart, but I'm going to say he is a player that when it comes to your culture, man, he could be a 5-star player for you. And I think that is, I won't say as important as the talent, but it is very close and very important in combination with the talent that you're getting on this team.
Here's what his head football coach, Tim Hardy, had to say, head coach there at Greater Atlanta Christian. I'm excited for Addison in this next step and for all that's to come. He's a good football player, has done an outstanding job as an offensive lineman, and has actually played some great defensive line for us in high school. He has worked really hard to improve his craft. He's a pretty well-developed player. I think he's developed physically in terms of size and strength. I think he has developed skill-wise, so I think he is starting off on a good foot as he starts his college career. It matters to him. He's a player that wants to know the answers as an offensive lineman. He wants to understand not just what to do, but why it's supposed to be done and how it fits into the broader scheme. He's a good teammate and has always done a great job connecting with our guys on the offensive line, echoing calls, and making sure the young players around him know what to do. He is also a guy who celebrates other people's success. He gets excited when his teammates are successful. There's a lot of positive qualities about the player he is on the field, but also the guy he is in the locker room. He's a guy who helps build a team and who encourages those around him. He's really a good kid.
I mean, that's pretty strong words right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that you're going to find a more fascinating recruit maybe in the entire country. There definitely won't be one in Tennessee's recruiting class. Was it Eagle Scout? Plays the piano or the guitar, one of the two.
So if we ever out in the woods and don't have any food, he can start a fire and catch animals and cook them? Is that what that means?
That's exactly what that means.
Bet. Okay. What else? What else he got
you
going
mentioned
on?
the black belt earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Football player.
Daniel Russo, the real Karate Kid.
So he was an important target, and I mean this is another one for the stargazers and offer gazers to be a fan of. This is one that they cannot complain about. I mean,
I'm an offer gazer.
Came down to Ohio State and North Carolina. USC was heavily involved. I know they weren't in his final three, but the USC was likely second, and distance played a factor there.
I saw a graphic being where, like, it added his 4th and 15. And I don't even know if Florida was his 4th and 15, but it had, like, Florida in there too. And I was like, man, that's so petty because he already laid out his top 3. Why even put Florida in there? But I liked it.
Well, I'll be honest. That's when I really have to fight being professional because, like, in my tweet yesterday, I did not include Florida and Georgia to say that he picked Tennessee over Florida and Georgia. I said, what was my tweet? Addison Nichols has committed to Tennessee over the likes of USC, North Carolina, and Ohio State. My original tweet said over the likes of USC, North Carolina, Ohio State, Georgia, and Florida. But then I ran out of characters, and I was like, well, you know what? I better delete Georgia and Florida. They weren't in the final 3.
Over Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and Clemson. If he ever talked about them, then I'm putting them in there. If he ever mentioned them, I don't care if they were in the top 15, the top 20, top 25. But if he was ever in the top list of any sorts, we're putting him on the tweet, man. He picked Tennessee over Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, LSU. That's what we doing, man. Whatever it takes, right?
That's right.
But
as John Kay points out on the text box, on a more serious note, on the Eagle Scout thing, and I'm surprised that John Kay said anything serious on the text box.
I was being serious.
But he says that shows the type of leader that he is going to be.
Dang right.
And the type of leader that he already is.
Dang right. His high school coach laid it out perfectly. That screams leadership.
Tennessee needs more of it.
Like, it's funny because, like, we get people that do what we do, and they have no clue what leadership is on the football field, and they'll point out just the silliest things like, look at this player showing leadership, and it's not even leadership at all. I can tell you what leadership is. You know, I was a captain my senior year in college, so the attributes that the high school coach is laying out, talking about Addison Nichols, that is leadership. Cheering on your teammates, being vocal, having the energy, asking, more of your teammates. It's it's the small things that sometimes doesn't show up in the public eye of what leadership really is. But a coach will see it. Coach will see it. If you are observing a player for a week, you'll see all the little things that make up being a leader and having leadership. And that's what the coach was laying out for us right there that you read. I'm talking about Addison Nichols. That is leadership. And that's what I'm really excited about, him entering this program. I know he has talent. He's not going to be here if he's not good. But we hope. It's the other part of it is what's going to change this culture. You got to recruit. The character. You got to recruit great football character if you want to change the culture. And that's a big step by Tennessee getting Addison Nichols in the boat.
I don't think you'll see Tennessee's quarterbacks not being helped up off of the ground with Addison Nichols playing along the offensive line or other teams taking late hits at the quarterback and nothing being done about it.
That's true. Swain Event, first break of the day. Hour number 1 is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Stay with us. Be right back.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suit your needs. Instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Camden, Tennessee Vol says, is it any surprise a good kid comes from Gwinnett County, one of the best counties in America? Think of all the good leadership from kids we got there, with Wanye being our biggest miss.
It's a surprise to me because it's the state of Georgia, and the state of Georgia is full of a bunch of bums.
Easy now. No.
Chip Payne.
No. Your favorite football player of all time.
Smart.
It's from Georgia.
Troy Polamalu.
Your favorite Tennessee player of all time.
No, Eric Berry is my favorite Vol of all time because my favorite Vol trumps my favorite Steeler every day of the week. Is Hines Ward from Georgia? I know he played at Georgia, but he's like from Georgia.
I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not good for my most recent comment.
Yeah, that's why you don't. You gotta be careful with those hot takes, man. You know Seth Stokes back when he was doing pest control.
Also a prime example of why I said what I said.
What you mean?
Stokes fits into the Chip Payne category.
No, man. Stokes hates Georgia. Everything about it except being from there and his mom still living there. But when Stokes was in his pest control days, he worked on Hines Ward's house.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and Hines Ward had like a Georgia G logo on his basketball court, and Stokes said he thought about messing it up.
He should have peed on it.
That would have been hilarious.
I've met Hines Ward before. Him and John Stallworth. John Stallworth, a Huntsville native, and puts on a golf tournament every year in Huntsville where a lot of Pittsburgh Steeler greats come into town to support him, and he always ran the golf tournament through this popular sporting goods store that I worked at. So he would come in and we'd hook him up with golf balls and stuff of that nature. So he invited me to go.
Yeah, Yeah, Hans Wars is from Georgia. Chip Payne says, Ben, you would know about bums. You a freaking bum. Put some respect on my name.
That's his comeback.
Y'all don't start that, man. It's just 7:30. You got at least wait to hour 2 in the second hour before we get all, oiled up. It ain't even the first game of the season yet. They're just reporting today. Calm down, guys. Calm down. It's not even game week. Calm down.
Look, Chip, it's not my fault that you live in Georgia and I live in Knoxville.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with living in Georgia. We got a lot of Georgia Vol fans.
I'm joking. Hopefully people know that I'm joking.
There's some people that don't. They're on the message boards right now talking crazy about you because you've been dissing that state.
That's their fault.
John Case says, I thought Najee Harris was Ben's favorite player.
My favorite Bama player, but not my favorite Steeler.
Fake Bob Kessler says, what's more likely to happen this year? Tennessee's offense averages 30 points a game, or Tennessee's defense gives up 30 points a game? Wow.
I'm not answering that question.
Wow. What a question. Wow. That's a great one. That is a great one. Fake Bob Kessler. That's a great one. That is a great one. More likely to happen. You're not answering because you go on defense.
I am not answering that question.
Well, I mean, you're not answering it. You're answering it by not answering it.
There you go. There's my answer then.
Greg McElroy said something that stood out during the SEC Media Days. And he was talking about Georgia having a little bit of a weak spot at corner. And will it really show up? Because the league, the division, there's not true threats of great quarterback and receiver duos. There's no threats because guys have left. You look at South Carolina. Anybody afraid of a quarterback receiver duo there? Nope. Florida, they're breaking in some new quarterbacks, breaking in new receivers. No one's proven there. I mean, you look around the league, and it's totally different than it was 2 years ago or even last year. So if that's going to benefit Georgia, then why shouldn't it benefit every defense in the East? Because there's lack of playmakers on the outside, lack of proven quarterback play. Something to think about.
It is a great thought to have, but the question is which is more likely? Tennessee to take advantage defensively without their lot of quarterback, receiver, dynamic connections in the SEC, or one of Tennessee's quarterbacks to grab the bull by the horn and actually lead a Tennessee offense to 30 points per game.
That's tough right there. That is tough. Do we even average 20 points per game?
I think it was slightly. Well, maybe not last year because of the 10-game conference schedule.
I mean, if we average low 20s, I'll be more than willing to say we'll average 30.
You think they averaged 30 this year?
I said if we averaged in the low 20s last year, I'll be more than happy to say that we can average 30s. And I would say more likely is offense putting up 30.
They averaged 21.5.
Goodness gracious. It felt like
third worst in the SEC.
Well, it felt like we didn't even average that, to be honest. So putting up 21 points and how bad we were on offense, we're talking about 8 more points. We're talking about another touchdown.
2019, 24.2 points. 2018, 22.8. 2017, 19.8. The last time Tennessee averaged over 30 points was Josh Dobbs' senior season, 2016, second in the league in scoring points per game, 36.4.
What we do in 17 again?
Dead last at 19.8 points per game.
Oh, yeah. More likely to happen is offense averaging 30 points per game. That's my answer.
You hear that, and it makes you say offense?
Yeah. Because that's the worst.
But this offense is closer to the worst than it is the best in 16.
I don't think it will be.
So you think this offense is closer to – and I'm not talking about scheme and Josh Heupel here. I'm talking about personnel on the roster.
Yeah, I'm talking about personnel, and I'm talking about a new quarterbacks that I think the team will like and play around. And we're talking about a culture that will be a whole lot better. Remember that 17 season? It was an absolute dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're right.
I'm throwing that in there too. Last year, offensively, we were atrocious and still put up 21 points per game. We're talking about one extra touchdown. And you're adding in all the non-conference games too. Which
is why 17, 18, 19 is a better parameter to look at. And Tennessee was in the low 20s, 24.2 in 2019.
It's more likely.
18.
Yeah, what's more likely to happen? Tennessee's offense averaging 30 points per game or Tennessee's defense giving up 30 points per game? And I'm just going to go I think it's more likely that the offense averages 30 points per game. More likely. You can go defense, though, if you want to.
I'm going defense.
If that's the case, then Tennessee ain't going to win many of any games. We're talking about
Did you think that they were going to win many games?
We're talking like 4 wins. If you're averaging giving up more than what you're scoring.
Now you're changing the conversation a little bit.
No,
or changing my – because I don't think that they're going to give up 30 points a game. We're answering the question, which is
more likely to happen.
Likely. I don't actually think they're going to give up 30 points a game.
You just don't have confidence in the offense as much as I do.
I think it's more likely they give up 30 points a game. So it's the defense that I don't trust.
I know. I'm more confident in the offense than you are. Yeah, I'm more confident in the offense than you are. You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more I have a little bit more.
Yeah. For the record, I don't think they're going to give up 30 points a game. I just think based off the question, I think they're more likely to give up 30 points than they are to score 30 points a game.
Yeah, Mike asked, you seeing that big of a jump in the offense. I ain't saying all that now. All I'm saying is, guys, 21 points per game on offense last year. And you had a third-round receiver who didn't do anything.
Doing something now in Chargers camp.
He's doing more in Chargers camp in 3 days than he did all season for Tennessee last year. He was your number one receiver. Everyone in the country knew it. Everybody in the SEC knew it. Everyone knew that Josh Palmer was the number one receiver, and we still couldn't get him the football. Didn't even attempt to get him the football like a number one wide receiver. You had a speedy freshman. It took the Alabama game to get him involved, and then after that, you stopped getting him involved. You played every quarterback known to man in the last couple of years, and you still put up 21 points. In the midst of all the dysfunction, all the drama in the locker room with the coaches, Coach Pruitt taking the play sheet. This dude took the play sheet, called a play versus Auburn that resulted in a pick six. All that going on, and you still average 21 points. You can't average one extra touchdown per game? That puts you right at 30.
That puts you at 28.
Hey.
Not 30.
21 point, is it 21 point something?
Last year's number?
Yeah.
It was 21.5, so it puts you at 28.5.
Actually, you round up 21.5 to 22, added a touchdown.
29.
That's 29.5, which would be 30. So
If you round up, you go to 22.
we rounded.
Plus
We
7 is
rounded in
29.
here. We rounded in here like
29.5.
we rounded. 29.5 is 30.
But you can't get to 29.5. You round up from 21.5 to 22, and then you add on 7
I'm
to
rounding.
get to 29.
I'm rounding 22.5, add 8. That's 30.5. I'm rounding. I'm rounding and rounding and rounding. Now it'd be a little bit short, but we're talking about one touchdown being the difference between low 20s and high 20s, right there at 30. So another touchdown and maybe another field goal, and you're going to put up a lot more plays. I just think it's more likely to happen that the offense drops 30. Now, it is possible now. It is possible that they're averaging giving up 30 points per game, but that would mean that you just simply have to put up 35 or 33 or 34 if you're put in that situation. Tennessee's defense is going to give a lot of points, and what you hope is that they score a lot of points.
Yes, I think the only way that Tennessee averages 30 is if it takes advantage of its 3 cupcake games and drop like 50 pieces in each of them, and then against a horrific Ole Miss defense, you hang up a bunch of points on Ole Miss. Vandy's horrific defense, you hang up a bunch of points on Vandy. That is going to be the only way that you even come close to stiffing out 30 points a game, because you're going to have games against Georgia, Alabama, in which you may score single digits or low teens. So you're going to have some games that offset those low scoring outbursts.
I mean, last year you dropped 35 against Missouri, you 31 against South Carolina,
and then it was downhill from there.
And then you scored 21 points against Georgia,
thanks to the Georgia center Trey Hill snapping it over the quarterback's head.
Yeah, only 7 against Kentucky. Jeez.
Thanks, JG.
Only 17 against Alabama. And man, I ain't never seen a coach scared to be down, after being down 3 touchdowns, get a turnover at midfield, and it still didn't try to go for it. That was really weird for me. I did not like that sequence when Tennessee was down a bunch of points, got the turnover, and was still playing passive for some reason. It's showing Georgia State. I don't want to see that. I don't want no part of that game at all. But what it's going to take, it's going to take a lot of points, and Tennessee's going to give up a lot of points. You just hope that Tennessee can get to that 38, that 40 before the other team. Defense is not the same as it used to be in this conference. And I think defense will be a little bit down this year. I think offense with the playmakers will be a little bit down. It's going to be weird, man.
So you think the SEC as a whole is going to be down this year?
I think it will be a little bit. It'll still be better than everyone else. But I think it's going to be a little bit down.
Where the
as far as
SEC
playmakers and NFL guys that returned, and we're looking forward to having a big time junior season or a big time senior season. We lost a lot of guys to the league as a conference.
Yeah, I still think there's a lot of guys that will play in the league, but there's not those bona fide guys that you had maybe last year. I think where the league is going to be strong this year is the running game. That is the area of the game in the SEC this year that's going to be strong. Georgia, Florida, Kentucky even is going to have a strong run game. Yep.
I think when you lose quarterbacks the way the SEC has lost quarterbacks in the last 2 years, you have to rely on that running game. I think you're dead on there. Running backs will be more of an important piece to offenses in this league than we've probably seen in the last 2 years.
I think Tennessee's running game is going to be its strong suit, in my opinion. I think Tennessee's going to have a solid offensive line, and Jabari Small and Tyon Evans. I think Tennessee has a nice stable of backs that aren't stars yet per se, but are more than talented enough to get the job done. And you don't have a proven quarterback yet, so you're gonna have to rely on that running game.
Yeah.
And like Josh Heupel said at SEC Media Days, it is the biggest misnomer about his offense that they're not balanced.
Yeah,
so it's not like he's not going to run the football.
We are definitely going to do that. Z Hamilton, 23, says, do we have enough talent on this team that if we get the right coaching and gel as a team this season, we could be third best in the East?
Yeah, if everything went perfectly, I think so. If everything went perfectly,
got to beat Kentucky.
Tennessee could end up second in the East. And it's not more so if Tennessee were to finish second, it's not because – Tennessee pulled off just a bunch of great wins. It's more so because the East after Georgia is not all that strong. Florida's not going to be its typical Florida. I don't see Florida having a great season. I mean, I think they're going to have a disappointing season. I think they're going to win 8 or 9 games, and right now 8 or 9 games for Florida is disappointing, especially in this stage of Mullen's tenure in Kentucky. I do think Kentucky's going to be a solid football team, but it's not going to be some team that you're just going to have to severely overcome. And then after Kentucky, it's Missouri and Carolina and Vanderbilt. So, I mean, I think it's possible if everything went perfectly, Tennessee could finish second in the East.
Yeah, my ceiling is third. My ceiling is third in the East.
Who do you have finishing or kind of as your second team?
Either Florida or Kentucky. Because I mean, to be second, you got to beat both of those teams. I don't think we can do that. So, you got to get through Missouri. You got to get through Vanderbilt. You got to get you got to compete against other teams in the East, and then you have to beat Kentucky and Florida to be in that number 2 spot. I just don't see that happen. I don't think that's realistic. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't think that's realistic when you look at the depth and the special teams that's probably going to be outmanned, against teams like Florida. But the answer is Hamilton's. Can it be third best? If you get every ounce of juice that you could possibly can out of the orange, I mean. Lucky with injuries. You don't have any significant injuries. At key positions, you have guys playing as a team, working their butts off, and then you have the staff doing a great job coaching and developing with in-game calls. Then yeah, I can see the third place team in the East being Tennessee, but I mean that is the ceiling for me.
I just don't think there's a big difference between 2 and 3 in the East this year. I think Kentucky and Florida are very similar, and they have situations on their roster that could prove pivotal for them. That if they don't shore it up, then it could be a true weakness that costs them some games this year. So I just think Georgia's kind of in a class by itself, and then it's Kentucky and Florida in a tier, and then you get into kind of the rest of the bunch in a hodgepodge.
Swain Event, hour number 1, brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Be right back.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. It's time for Attaboy, where we highlight positive stories. And Ben, I definitely have an Attaboy today. Attaboy is brought to you by Iris Networks, specializing in high-quality, reliable fiber internet and voice. IrisNetworksUSA.com is their website. 865-448-4747 is their telephone number. 90 days, no payment for business internet. Duncan Robinson gets my Attaboy.
That was my Attaboy.
Really? Mm-hmm. You know what, Ben? I'm gonna let you go ahead.
You got it. I always give out the Attaboys. You do it.
Well, Duncan Robinson gets my Attaboy. He went to the University of Michigan, but he was at a very small college before that. I think like Division III college before that. But Duncan Robinson yesterday made history because he signed the largest deal ever in NBA history for an undrafted player. $90 million, 5-year deal. That is someone who knows his role and plays it well. He's a superstar in his role. You just shoot it. That's it. You just shoot. That's your role. You shoot it. And he plays it well. He's one of the best shooters in the game. But it's really cool to see someone that did not get all the lights and all the glitz and the glam coming out of high school, had to take the road less traveled to get to where he wanted to be, and that is playing in the NBA. But he gets my Attaboy today, man. Really, really cool story. Ben, I know you had him on Attaboy, so I'll let you fill in any missing details there if you want to add.
No, I don't have anything to add. It's just a really cool story to go from undrafted to getting paid. I did have another Attaboy for Baltimore Ravens running back Lamar Jackson, who is
quarterback
having a statue built of himself outside of Cardinal Stadium.
Quarterback. He plays quarterback.
Plays running back for the Baltimore Ravens. Well, he plays quarterback as a running back for the Baltimore Ravens. The statue will be placed at the main entrance to the stadium, right next to that of Baltimore Colts icon and former Louisville quarterback Johnny Unitas, who played there from 1951 to 1954. Jackson was under-recruited coming out of high school, and some other programs wanted him to switch positions. Louisville was the first major school to pledge that they wanted him strictly at quarterback, so he chose the Cardinals. Jackson rewarded them, becoming the first player in school history to win the Heisman Trophy in 2016, throwing for 3,543 yards and 30 touchdowns, while also running for 1,500 yards and 21 more touchdowns. He followed it up with a very similar junior season before leaving to go to the NFL. So that's really cool. I loved watching Lamar when he was at Louisville, and one of the all-time great college football players, one of the all-time great Heisman campaigns that year that he won it in 2016. So I think it's really cool that Louisville is building him a statue out front next to Johnny Unitas.
That is really cool. Let me add a little bit more on Duncan Robinson. He went to Williams College, 2013, 2014. You ever heard of Williams College?
Nope.
Me either.
Where is it located?
In Williamstown, Massachusetts. I've heard anything about Williams. Then he went to Michigan. He transferred to Michigan and then was undrafted in 2018. And then the rest is history. He played a little bit for the Sioux Falls Sky Force G League team, and then got a shot with the Miami Heat in 2018. And then the rest was history. So I wanted to add that little bit of info on the Duncan Robinson Attaboy today. Lamar Jackson Heisman Trophy news sparked another conversation about Johnny Manziel, that it was time for Texas A&M to give Johnny Manziel a statue. And I bet Texas A&M was like, y'all shut up. Don't y'all mind y'all's business.
Yeah, that's my initial thought, just off the cuff. I don't know if
shut up
if I'm A&M, if I'd want to give Johnny Manziel
and it was like
a statue.
Always messing stuff up. We was trying to go as long as possible. Let Johnny Manziel get arrested, do all the things that he's gonna do, all the silly stuff, say all the crazy stuff that embarrassed us over the last couple of years. We hope that he continues to grow up before we give him a statue. That's what A&M really was thinking.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I'd be all gung ho about giving Johnny Manziel a statue. I wonder what statues they already have. Looks like. I
mean, come on, man.
E. King Gill, a squad player for A&M's football team.
Man, he won a Heisman.
1922.
He won a Heisman, man. I mean, come on. You got to give him a statue. You got to give Johnny Manziel a statue.
Not the type of person I'd want to be given a statue to, if I'm just being honest.
I mean, I understand.
But I feel like those things should be taken into consideration when giving out statues. Like Johnny Manziel, would it surprise you one bit if it came out tomorrow morning or came out today around lunch that he was involved in a heinous crime? And I hate to go there. I hate to put this on Johnny Manziel. But at least to me, it would not surprise me if he did something disturbing and was arrested for not your typical possession of marijuana, drinking and driving. And I'm not saying that that's better than other crimes. I'm not trying to say that at all. But, I mean, those are more frequent arrests that we see. I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me if he was arrested for something that we don't see as frequently. And, like, if you're A&M, you got to be worried about that for putting up a statue.
I mean, listen, I understand. I mean, Johnny Manziel's stuff has all been, like, alcohol-related. It's drug-related. You know, he hasn't really had any crazy, violent crimes. But he has had crimes. And, you know, he's been struggling to, you know, put things together in his life. since he left Texas A&M. And I think if you're Texas A&M, that's something that you look at, that you have to. I think your character matters, and I think it goes into a team deciding to put out a statue for you or deciding to name a street after you. The great Shamika Holtzclaw had that, street named after her, and then she had the incident where, she shot in a car someone there in Atlanta, and that put Tennessee in a real bind. The street is still named Shamika Holtzclaw Way, a street or drive, and I'm glad it is, but it puts those schools in a real bad spot when you decide to do that for someone who's still living. So I get what you're saying, man. He still needs a statue at some point. Hour 2 coming up.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown or turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. All right, Ben, you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
A starting quarterback will be named game week. A starting quarterback will be named game week. So here we are. We're starting the first Tennessee practice tomorrow. We know there's going to be a quarterback battle. There's battles all over the field, but hey, Quarterback gets the most attention. It's the way it is. Do you think that a quarterback will be named before game week, or do you feel like Josh Heupel will pull out the element of surprise or try to and not name one until game week to keep it close to the vest, to keep the other team off, off schedule? Touchdown turnover. Josh Heupel will name a quarterback game week.
Touchdown. I think he'll wait to game week to name a starting quarterback. Obviously, there are the advantages of keeping the opponent guessing. I don't know how big of a factor that becomes when you play Bowling Green to open up your season. Maybe it's a little bit different if it's Pittsburgh week 1 or in the past West Virginia, NC State, teams like that. I personally think Bowling Green is a little bit different to where it doesn't place as much of an emphasis on hiding who's going to be the starting quarterback. It doesn't matter if Joe Milton, Hendon Hooker, Harrison Bailey, Brian Maurer starts against Bowling Green. Like, that is a football game you should win regardless of who is at quarterback. But I think he'll wait, not only because he'll play the advantages of that, but also, like, there's not enough separation going into camp to make me feel comfortable about somebody just blowing out the rest of the room and just running away with it that quickly. They may, whoever it may be, may run away with the job, but I don't think that they can do it within a week or two because there's not any separation going into fall camp. I mean, I think all three have a legitimate chance at winning the job. Harrison Bailey, Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton. I think they all have a legitimate shot at winning the job. I have who I think is going to win the job, but we'll see. So I just don't think there's enough separation going into fall camp amongst the three likely quarterbacks that one will run away with it within the week or two. Because you look at South Carolina, and Shane Beamer didn't have any problem after spring practice saying that Luke Doughty had won the job. Well, that's because there's nobody after Luke Doughty. There's like one other quarterback, and he's a transfer from a D3 school up north. There's no competition for Luke Doughty. So Shane Beamer, he didn't have to, but that's why he felt comfortable coming out and saying that Luke Doughty's our starting quarterback, even before fall camp began, because he did not have a Joe Milton to go up against, a Hendon Hooker or Harrison Bailey. He doesn't even have a Brian Maurer to compete against in fall camp at South Carolina. So there was such a big enough gap and separation between Luke Doughty and the rest of the quarterback room that it only made sense for Shane Beamer to go throughout his offseason with the football team knowing who its leader on the field was going to be in Luke Doughty. That doesn't exist with Tennessee. As I've said a couple of times, there's just not enough separation for me to think that somebody's just going to win the job within a week or two.
We got the deepest quarterback room in the country, Ben.
You might.
The deepest. For now, yeah.
The most bodies, I think it's the best way to say
it. Starting quarterback name, game week. Do I think that's going to happen? I think it's going to happen before that, because you're playing Bowling Green, and you can't be fiddle-farting around with this thing. That's right, fiddle-farting. Shout out to him, high school coach, rest in peace, Ronnie Massey. He would always say fiddle-farting. You can see someone's mouth when they get ready to drop an F word, and he never cuss. And I would always like, go ahead, say it, say it, say it, say it. Stop fiddle-farting around. I was like, damn, I thought you would say something else. He would never cuss. So that's my memory of Coach Massey. But you can't be fiddle-farting around with this thing, man. You can't be playing games. We gonna wait to name a starter game week, because I think during the course of fall camp, you're going to know, and the team is going to know. The team is going to know. Once the team knows, and it's pretty obvious, and you start divvying up first-team reps, doesn't really matter if you're playing Bowling Green first.
No.
To go ahead and just drop the starting quarterback, I don't think it matters. Now, if you're playing Cal first, or you playing Georgia Tech first, or you playing NC State first, I would understand.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's Bowling Green.
It's Bowling Green, and they don't have any Joe Milton film anyways. Him playing Tennessee. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
So it won't matter.
So you think Joe Milton's just going to come out and run away with the job? You think that there's already a significant gap?
I don't know about all that. Bowling Green doesn't have any film of any Tennessee quarterback in Heupel's offense unless they want to look at the spring game. I just don't think it matters that much. I don't think it matters that much. You're playing Bowling Green. I don't think it matters that much.
I agree with you. I don't think it matters at all. I just, again, like I said earlier, I don't see a quarterback separating themselves that much to where a starting quarterback can be named within 2 weeks. So
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
So what are there? There's 4 weeks of camp because game week kind of starts early this year. There's 4 weeks of camp. This week, next week, the third week. It's actually 4.5.
And honestly, camp is really like 2 weeks because you have game week and then you have the week before that. So air quotes here I'm using, fall camp is technically like 2 weeks, man.
They play on Thursday against Bowling Green. You think they'll start the week on a Sunday in terms of practice for that week, for game week?
Oh yeah, probably before then, but yeah, I mean officially
bona fide game week. I think they'll start Sunday the 29th, if not Saturday the 28th.
Yeah, they'll probably start because think about it. A normal typical game week, it starts Sunday and you play Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what 6 days. You play Thursday, so I'm saying
Friday or Saturday.
Friday, yeah, I'm saying Friday. You start putting stuff in and get people in the mind frame that it's game week. We play on Thursday this year. Typically, after you play on Saturday, you clear. After you win, you lose, you're snapping clear, and you get ready for the next game on a Sunday. Where you kind of got to get into that mode that Friday before that Thursday first game. So. Yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot of time.
You've got 3.5 weeks until that weekend prior to the second, the weekend of the 27th, 28th, 29th. That's the last weekend of August going into actual game week for us. Actual game week. That's 3.5 weeks away from now. I just don't know that there's a ton of separation amongst the quarterbacks going into fall camp where somebody can win the job in that amount of time. I hope so, because that goes back to a conversation we had a couple weeks ago about taking the job instead of winning the job. There's a difference. Winning the job, I mean, all four can stink and one just be slightly better than the rest, and technically he won the job.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the JG situation, quite frankly.
Mm-mm.
But I want to hear about a quarterback going out and taking the job to where they just knocked fall camp out of the park, grabbed the bull by the horns, and ran with it.
Yeah, you do not have a lot of time.
So if a quarterback is named prior to game week, I think that is a great sign for things to come, because that tells me that within 3.5 weeks, one of those quarterbacks went out and took the job, which I think is a great thing. And here's another reason why I don't think a quarterback will be named prior to game week. You want to keep as many quarterbacks in the room as possible. You want them to think that it's a competition all throughout fall camp. Tennessee has 4 quarterbacks for this upcoming season, 4 scholarship quarterbacks as of right now. So they're sitting much better in terms of bodies, better than a lot of teams in college football. I'd be curious to see how many schools have 4 scholarship quarterbacks on its roster. It's not a lot. You typically see 2 or 3 scholarship quarterbacks nowadays. So Tennessee's sitting better than most just in terms of pure bodies in the room. And even if one transferred before the start of the game, you'll be looking pretty. But I think you want to try to aim for 3 for the season.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're Heupel, I mean, I make it seem like this quarterback is dragging on just to ensure that
that's a good point too.
That 3 stay on the roster, because you look at LSU, Miles Brennan breaks his arm.
Mm-hmm.
There's no telling how long he's going to be out. He was battling Max Johnson for the starting job, and now it looks like Max Johnson will be the starting quarterback at least week 1. And then after Max Johnson, with Miles Brennan hurt, they have Garrett Nussmeier. That's it. That's the only other scholarship quarterback that they have on the roster, because TJ Finley transferred to Auburn.
Forget that. If I'm Heupel, I'm naming
freshman.
I'm naming my quarterback. If you want to quit during fall camp, go for it. Go for it.
That's fair.
Go for it. You want to quit during fall camp? Fall camp? Come on, man. All right, who's on the phone?
Don.
Don, what's up, Don?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Well, it's getting closer and closer. And we'll really have plenty to talk about starting tomorrow, or at least the day after tomorrow after the first practice.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's going to be All-Americans the first day.
Well, and we'll have plenty to talk about tomorrow. The coaches are talking today. Heupel meets with the media at 12, and then Tim Banks and Alex Golish, they'll talk, and players will speak. So we'll have plenty to talk about tomorrow as well.
Hey, Don, there's always stuff to talk about here in the Swain event. We did the show during COVID when we didn't know there was going to be a football season, and we found ways to have good conversation. So there's always things to talk about now.
You're right. Ben, my man, Ben. I'm a little concerned about you, Ben. I'm concerned about it every year when some of the media falls in love with Kentucky again. Who's their quarterback going to be?
Joey Gatewood or Will Levis from Penn State.
So what we're really seeing is as big a mess as our QB situation's been in the last few years, we have no idea if they have a quarterback that can play college football.
Nope.
So that, even though I know
Kentucky.
Florida has a quarterback that's not really proven, he has played and performed okay at Florida. Can't say that about Kentucky.
Well, Don. In the last 2 years of not having a quarterback, one year they beat us 34-7. The other year they should have beat us. It took a goal line stop for us to beat them. I mean,
yeah, but we were awful.
I mean,
that's different than actually, challenging for second place in the East.
Challenging for second place in the East is not because I love Kentucky, because I don't love Kentucky. I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be great either. Challenging for second place in the East has more to do with the East being down than Kentucky being some great team, because who else is going to compete for second in the East?
Well, Tennessee for one.
Okay, and if Tennessee is competing for second in the East in Josh Heupel's first season after Jeremy Pruitt's last season was atrocious, what does that say about the SEC East?
Well, I think it would say more about Jeremy Pruitt and his inability to allow his coaches to coach, and maybe firing coaches in the middle of the game, stuff like that. I really put more on last year directly on the shoulders of the Gump, because I really don't think Jim Chaney was as horrible an offensive coordinator as the stats show for the 3 years that he was back up here, 2 years, whichever. 2 years, I guess. I just don't think he was allowed to coach or, call plays and maybe even play the quarterback he wanted to play. So I really do go back more on the coaching, because one of the reasons I look for Auburn to be not even meet the expectations people have on them is because of their offensive line coach, who sat up here for 3 years and never coached a lick.
I mean, the offensive line wasn't bad this past season.
Well, but it wasn't what it should have been when you had Cade Mays, Trey Smith, et cetera, across the line.
Well, no group was good as they supposed to be, because the whole culture was bad. So no one performed like they supposed to. I mean, you had a receiver group that had an NFL player, and you had a coach that has proven to put players in the NFL at receiver at USC and T. Martin, and because the culture was bad, like every coach didn't look good, and all the players looked like something was going on. So I understand, you know, when you look at Will Friend, you see that he's friends with Pruitt or was friends with Pruitt. Or I don't know if they still are. I don't know. But, you know, you just look at the big money he was making. I think he's making like $800,000. And when you put those things together, you just put a lot of pressure on that coach to produce the best unit on the football field. But, I mean, the unit wasn't terrible. I mean, they didn't live up to the Cole Kubick hype, but I think it's a bigger reason why players didn't reach their potential. I think it has a lot to do with the culture. But go ahead, Don.
And I think that's part of it. You just hit on it. I think the culture is going to be totally different. Now, my hesitancy is anytime you're going through a change of philosophies, new game structure, stuff like that, confusion maybe. Excuse me. But I will go on your 30 over 30 under offense defense.
Yeah,
I'll say we will score more than 30 a game. Simply, if no other reason, our 3 cupcakes out of conference and 2 or 3 cupcakes in conference, they'll pile up enough points that even with Alabama and really maybe Georgia to an extent, and Georgia got rung up pretty good last year in certain games. They lost a lot. And that's my thing. Also, going back to Kentucky, that's my thing about Kentucky. They lost. Their defense was their calling card, and they lost a bunch. South Carolina was terrible on defense for the most part, but they lost some really couple of good secondary players. So I just don't see a lot of defense out there to slow them down. According to how good our offense is, as good as Alabama's defense is, yeah, you might want to go look and see what happened, you know, in a couple of those games with Ole Miss, et cetera. They gave up a ton of points in some games last year. So I think it's far more likely to score 30 or more. In fact, I'd go so far to say that we'll average 30 or more on offense and will not average giving up 30 on defense. And I mean, it is August. I can I can project how I want.
You can.
But I just you know, I'm looking around. I try to evaluate. I don't know if everybody does when they're making projections, but I do go back and look at the oppositions, the opponents coming up, what they have or don't have, what they lost last year, what they're going to have this year in certain places. Rather than just saying, oh well, it's this, it's that. But I know, Jason, to me, you hit the nail on the head about reaching 30 points a game. If this offense can't score more than 9 or 10 points more than that putrid thing that they put on the field last year, we're still in trouble.
That's true, Don. Thank you, man. Last year, Tennessee's defense gave up 30.1 points per game. This looks like Tennessee's going to be averaging more than 30 and giving up more than 30. That's how I see this season playing out. But, hey, you can throw out all kind of predictions at this point of the season because you haven't played yet. You haven't even started practice yet. That's just kind of what I see based on spring, based on the departures. But that's why they play the games. That's why you put the ball down and you play between the white lines and practice to develop your team to prove people like me right or wrong. Simple as that. But there were a good number of teams that even with them being good, average giving up 30 points or more per game. SEC is changing. College football is changing. You can give up more than 25, 30 points per game and still have a good season as long as you put up the points on offense. Hour 2 continues after this.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help. Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. It's cooking in the SEC. It is cooking. Man, yesterday was full of news and notes around the conference. And we're going to get even more news and notes now that Texas and Oklahoma is going to be a part of the SEC. So this segment will be even better. Ben, what you got today, man?
We already mentioned it, but Miles Brennan, LSU's likely starting quarterback, maybe had a slight edge in the quarterback battle in Baton Rouge over Max Johnson. We mentioned it. He has suffered a severe arm injury, a broken arm, and he will have to undergo surgery today on his broken left arm, likely keeping him out of most of the 2021 season. It all but seals that sophomore quarterback Max Johnson will earn the starting job going into their season opener against UCLA. So hard not to feel bad for Miles Brennan. Came to LSU as the next big quarterback in Baton Rouge. And LSU there for several years had struggled to find a quarterback. A lot of inconsistencies at the quarterback position. And when Coach O got the job, Miles Brennan was thought to be the one that was going to rid LSU of those problems. He was the number 6 pro-style quarterback in the country. Coach O was bringing this new spread scheme, and he was going to be the first quarterback to really take it into the new era of LSU football. He saw the field as a freshman and seemed like he was going to run with a job from there. And then Joe Burrow transferred in. And then after Joe Burrow won the Heisman, led him to a natty, Miles Brennan stuck around. Last year was his year, and he had that abdominal injury that cost him nearly all of his season after playing the first 3 games of the year. So you really hate it for Miles Brennan, who has had some pretty bad luck there during his college career. Nick Saban received a contract extension. This is from an article that John Bryce wrote for Football Scoop. Nick Saban finalizing a nearly $85 million contract. The University of Alabama's Board of Trustees, and within that, the school's compensation committee that serves on the board, approved the reworked deal that runs through February 2029 for Saban. It's a staggering contract for college football's most dominant coach of the modern era and arguably its most dominant leader in the sport's history. Saban's 7 national championships are the most in college football history. He has won 6 of those atop Alabama's program, in addition to the title that he won at LSU. He is scheduled for an 8-figure salary in each of the final 6 years of the deal, a.k.a. double-digit millions per year.
Remember when Titans Bills ripping me because I said Nick Saban was the greatest coach of all time?
Mm-hmm. He's the greatest coach of all time. It's not even close.
What stinks about this contract? I mean, he's worth
every penny.
He's worth every penny, if not more. But 8 years, 8 more years.
But we already knew this, though.
Don't you want to spend time with your grandkids, Nick?
No, he doesn't.
Don't you want to spend some more time with your wifey?
Your kids?
Ugh.
No, we know Nick Saban does not. Nick Saban would rather coach football than spend time with his family. But Nick Saban is set to earn $9.5 million this year, $9.9 next year, and then the final 6 years go as $10.3 million, $10.7 million, $11.1 million, $10.7 million, $11.1 million, and $11.5 million in his final year. The sum, $84.8 million. And when you round up like you like to do, it's worth $85 million in guaranteed compensation.
I like rounding up even, when it's supporting my point, my narrative. That's the only time I like to round up.
I'd love to know what his incentives look like. Like, if you're making that much money a year, do you even have incentives?
What's next, man? I don't want to talk about Nick Saban.
Ole Miss defensive back John Haynes entered the transfer portal. Was a starter on the Ole Miss defense for the past 2 seasons. And the last thing I've got for you.
Why now?
Who knows?
I mean,
you
didn't know you wanted to transfer 2 months ago?
A week ago, before fall camp.
I mean, after spring, you didn't know whether you're going to play or not, or did something happen where, like, you got into it with somebody or one of the coaches and you decided you didn't want to be there? Like, it's just a weird time to
He may have gotten in
leave.
trouble as well.
Yeah.
Everybody made a big deal about Dare Rosenthal transferring from LSU to Kentucky. Well, LSU could not keep Dare Rosenthal right. Dare Rosenthal could not get right. He was suspended last year for violation of team rules, and it got in trouble again. And Coach O alluded publicly to a parting of ways. Instead of dismissing him from the team, they encouraged him to enter the transfer portal.
That's a good way to kind of protect the kid there.
Correct. And it's happened here at Tennessee, too.
No, it has happened here. I mean, we would put, Clemson's player, getting arrested for driving 115 miles per hour, but, they're not in the SEC
And it's not for what yet?
Despite the, reports out there on Twitter. You got to be careful.
Ooh, folks want their retweets and likes. Last thing real quick, speaking of the transfer portal, the transfer portal on August 1st, so on Sunday, officially turned over for another cycle. So the 2020-2021 transfer portal year, fiscal year, the transfer portal, 2,654 players.
Say what? Wait, how much? How many people in the transfer portal?
This past year, from August 1st to August 1st.
All athletes?
Football.
Wait, just football?
Mm-hmm.
No basketball?
It does not specify football, but I know it's just football because I've seen like baseball transfers are already like over 2,000. So,
what's that number again?
2,654.
Wow.
The year before that, 1,695. The year before that, 1,720. So, the previous 2 years, 1,700 each year, essentially, jumped 1,000 this past year.
I mean, listen, give me about 15, 17 high school players, but the rest I want players from transfer portal.
Oh, 1,000%. Imagine what Tennessee's defense would look like going into the season if the transfer portal did not exist.
Whew.
We talked about it yesterday. 2
Giving
transfer
up 40
additions, 50 maybe.
Yeah.
2 transfer additions at each level of the defense. DeJohn Terry, Caleb Tremblay. Now, Tremblay was a graduate transfer, so he likely would have been here.
But still.
Yeah. Juwan Mitchell.
Help.
I don't know if he can make it. William Muhan, a.k.a. Apache. I don't know about him. Kamal Haddon. I mean, he went through spring practice at Auburn after signing out of JUCO and then came to Tennessee. Brandon Turnage, like those guys aren't eligible But on the flip side of that, how many of Tennessee's players would have transferred? Like if it wasn't as easy to play, would Eric Gray still be the starting running back? I think he would be.
Yeah.
Would Jerry Gantano still?
Boy, stop.
That's the last thing I got for you.
I got something for you, and that is these Texas politicians yesterday grilling UT President Jay Hartzell. Great first name, by the way. And I guess they thought they were doing something. Because everyone's, ooh, look, she roasted him. Ooh, he roasted Senator Lewis Coke Horse. I think I said that right. She is a TCU alum. When she was talking to the UT president, Jay Hartzell, she asked what the athletic budget of Texas was. He said probably $225 million. And she said that's without a winning football team. 3-7 against the Horned Frogs. And everyone's like, ooh, she roasted them. She roasted them.
Yes, Wayne, we need to listen to this because the tone is even better when you listen.
Play it.
To her have this.
Please
back
play
and forth.
It's over 200 million. It's probably 220.
What's your athletic budget?
It's over 200 million. It's probably 220, 225 in that range.
Where does that put you in the U.S.?
Depending on how you count, probably first.
And that's without a winning football team of late.
It's in spite of our football team. We've been winning, just not like we like to win.
3-7 against the Horned Frogs. So maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama than TCU. So, what's?
Ooh, she got him. Did she really get him though?
Yes.
Why are they there?
Because Texas is leaving. And the best part of this, if anybody's seen the video, the Big 12 commissioner, Bob Bowlesby, is standing behind the Texas president, just staring darts into the Texas president.
I mean, why are they there?
Because Texas is leaving.
She got him so good. Why are they there? Because they need Texas. They need Texas, and they're hurt. Man, they are hurt. She is hurt. She is hurt because, yeah, you have won against Texas. 3 out of the last 7 times. 7 out of the last 10 times you've beat them. And you still need them. So who's the real loser here? Who burned who? Yeah, she got her little joke off.
It was funny.
It was funny.
It was a good one.
But Texas is laughing the hardest. They're laughing the most because TCU needs Texas. She wasn't the only one that had something to say yesterday. Charles Perry had something to say yesterday. He made little sense to me, but he did have something to say yesterday, and he threw a little shade, and some people bit at it and thought he was really doing something, thought that he was real funny. I didn't really understand what point he was trying to make. I thought he fell a little short of the burn. But Charles Perry is a Texas Tech grad.
Shocker.
And a Texas State senator. He says to Jake Hartzell, if you're as big and great as you think you are, you should have made the Big 12 equal or better than the SEC. You didn't do it. What? That's when you can tell somebody's hurt. Mm-hmm. When they start talking and saying stuff and it don't make sense. They hurt. They hurt, man. In the pit of his stomach, the depth of his soul, he's hurt. That don't make any sense. That makes zero sense. No one's going to be better than the SEC. No one's going to be equal to the SEC. The SEC has been out in front for decades. You don't just become better than the SEC in a week, a year, 5 years. This thing has been rolling for 30-plus years.
I mean, the NFL's not even as great as the SEC.
Like, what? So a president of a university is going to be better than a conference commissioner? So one university president is supposed to do the job of a commissioner of a conference.
Apparently.
Really? Texas Tech alum, he's hurt. Why are they so hurt? Because they need Texas. They need Texas. The AD from Baylor was talking about, well, with the uncertainty of the conference, it's going to affect them being able to build a new basketball arena or get some expansions done to the arena, some renovations done to the arena.
He was getting his jokes off too, the Baylor AD.
Yeah, get him off now. Get him off now while you can. It's like the band that was playing when the Titanic was sinking. Get him in now. Get him in now.
You know, Swain, I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Why? My Titanic reference?
No. No, because as we know, that's how you mooched on every girl in middle school and high school, is by taking them to the movies to watch the longest movie possible.
It was about hanging out with the group of friends. We were able to do that for a very long time at Titanic because it's 3 hours long.
No, I'm proud of you because you have officially gone all in on SEC pride. Here you are, taking up for Texas like they're already in the SEC. I'm proud of you. Look at you taking up for the SEC. Look at you.
I mean, I'm just taking up for the truth. That's all, man. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's your pride in being associated with the SEC that is shining today. It's shining through. Look at you taking up for Texas. Texas hadn't even been in the league a week, and you're already taking up for them.
I'm just saying, man.
I think the funny part about all of what happened yesterday is there's no mention of Oklahoma. Oklahoma's just standing off in the corner, letting Texas be the one that takes the blame for everything.
I know Oklahoma State's upset with Oklahoma, but there's so many schools that mooched off of Texas for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. That's why they mad.
Yep.
That's why they're mad.
And that's why Texas is partly leaving, because all of the teams that were mooching off of Texas. This is why the Longhorn Network started to generate their own money. This is why there were many arguments amongst the Big 12 members while Texas was there, because Texas felt like it was doing so much for the league that it should receive a bigger portion of the money that was being brought in.
This is a classic example of crabs in the bucket. Texas trying to get out of the bucket, trying to go to greener pastures as far as making more money, getting more exposure, get out in the front of the changes that's going to take place in college football. Yeah, it's going to be harder to win. Duh. But they'd rather be on the inside looking in rather than the outside looking in. And so they made a move early. They also asked Texas president, when did they reach out to the SEC? He said that they did that during the spring. So
he also said, well, I can't, or no, he was asked who reached out to who. And he was like, well, I wasn't told to reach out to them, but they also didn't reach out to us. What? That doesn't make sense. Who reached out to who?
You should see some of these replies, man.
Oh, I bet
Charles Perry dropping bombs. What are you talking about, people?
Folks love their Twitter clout.
People will confirm that they're just not that sharp on Twitter sometimes by how they back up other ridiculous points. Like, Charles Perry did not make a point at all. No president is going to build a conference better than the SEC or come close to building a conference like the SEC.
You want to hear something?
It's silly.
Pretty interesting. Tennessee related?
Yeah.
Today at 1:15, players are meeting with the media. 3 rotations of players.
I told you.
Rotation 1 has 4 players.
I told you, man.
Rotation 2 has 4 players. Rotation 3 has 3 players. Guess the 4 players that rotation 1 consists of.
Joe Milton in that group?
Yep. Guess who else is in the group?
Hey! Another quarterback?
Yep.
Harrison Bailey?
Yep.
Another quarterback?
Yep.
Hendon Hooker?
Yep.
Another quarterback?
Yep.
So all 4 quarterbacks in the first
All
row?
4 quarterbacks are in the first rotation for 20 minutes speaking to the media. Harrison Bailey, Hendon Hooker, Brian Maurer, Joe Milton.
They should make it a debate.
How
like
close?
a presidential debate. Tell us why you should be the starting quarterback. Well, my policies are a whole lot better. I believe in throwing the ball down the football field. Not taking a sack. When it's third down and long in the field goal range. I think I'm going to be a really good candidate. I'm the choice for Tennessee football.
Not going rogue at the goal line in Tuscaloosa this year.
When there's a running play called to the right, I'm going to run that play to the right. If one's called to the left, I'm going to call to the left. This is going to be a quarterback debate.
How closely do you think Tennessee's media relations staff is going to be standing to Brian Maurer during these 20 minutes?
Hey, hold on now. Let me, hold on. Interview over. I think this is a time where every media relations department will be working their hardest, man, because you got kids who don't have to go through, information departments to go do interviews with, radio, websites, TV. So they're about to earn their money for sure.
This is uncommon.
Very uncommon.
You don't even get a quarterback during a quarterback competition. A single one.
All 4.
Last year, we didn't speak to Jarrett during fall camp. We didn't speak to JT Shrout during fall camp or Harrison Bailey, Harrison was in quarantine back-to-back, so we weren't going to be talking to him.
Who's going to ask the question? Why do you think you should be the starting quarterback? Who's going to ask it?
You want me to ask him?
No, don't do it.
Each one?
Don't do it.
Why? I think that's a good question.
Go for it.
How about let's see, any receivers talking today? No. Rotation 2 is Jabari Small, Cade Mays, Jacob Warren, Paxton Brooks. I'm going to ask Jacob Warren, who's the best quarterback?
I want a quarterback debate. That's what I want. I want all 4 of them with a mic and a podium, their own podium, and I want a debate. I want them wearing Vol walk suits, just like at the presidential debate, and I want debates.
I think this should be broadcasted on the SEC network. I think this is TV gold.
And I want one to interrupt the other. Come on, you ain't gonna do that. You can't make that throw.
Interrupt with the
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see a quarterback debate. That would be hilarious. All right, Swain Event. Be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
Ben McKee, what's the fastest that you have ever driven your car?
You're trying to get me in trouble, huh? I drive a Charger, so
the fastest.
I've touched 102. There's that stretch from Dandridge to Smoky Stadium.
Mhm.
Like if you're coming from the Carolinas or whatever. When I was coming back from South Carolina, I was like, all right, let's see how I would have touched 100 because I don't drive fast. I truly don't. I'm not a Seth Stokes, but I drive a Charger, man. I wanted to get it up to 100.
It was on, but it was on 40.
Yeah, it was at 40.
With a speed limit.
80, 75.
I think it's 70 on that stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was from Dandridge, the Dandridge exit to like Smoky Stadium, Gatlinburg.
Yeah,
exit.
on that stretch, I think it's 70.
It's just straight ahead.
So like the fastest I've ever went was about 6 years ago actually, and I was in North Florida. I was in North Florida right before you hit Georgia because you know you can't speed in South Georgia. They will pull you over in a hot second.
Anywhere in Georgia.
But North Florida, man, there was a good 4 or 5 cars that was going fast. I was like, oh, let me get in this line. Let's go. So I probably hit about 100 and something like that then, between 100 and 105. But that was on a highway, man. That was on a highway. Today's for what goes to a Clemson football player who was charged with reckless driving Sunday morning after a July 21st crash involving a U.S. mail carrier. Clemson police say that 19-year-old Frederick Davis was driving 115 miles per hour in a posted 55-mile-per-hour zone along Highway 123. Police said Davis' his speed severely limited his ability to navigate safely through traffic and caused him to lose control of his vehicle prior before the crash. That's a little weird. Yo, This is scary, man. He could have, like, really killed himself or killed somebody. 115?
That's ridiculous.
115 and a 55?
That's absurd. How is that even possible?
Police said that the mail carrier sustained serious injuries in the crash and will require several months or longer for recovery. Fred Davis remains in the program but will be subject to internal discipline. Grounds for internal discipline for misdemeanor charges like this are covered under the terms of the Clemson Student Athlete Handbook, which says that the head coach can recommend a course of action upon concurrence of the designated Clemson Athletic Director Administrator. That's crazy right there. But that's my for what for today. Scary stuff there at Clemson. Just hope that the mail carrier is able to have a speedy recovery and the player. Hour 3 coming up. Austin Price, VolQuest.com.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. It's time for hour number 3, which means it is time for Austin Price to join us on a beautiful Tuesday here. His time is brought to you by Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, like my guy Ben McKee, her telephone number is 865-257-7897. AP, good morning, sir.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Man, we are wonderful, man. I love to hear the energy in your voice, man. You sound really excited, and it has to be because Addison Nichols decided to pick Tennessee over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, Oklahoma. He picked them over everybody. Why now, and you know, what led Nichols picking Tennessee over everybody else?
Well, he honestly, I'd always planned on doing something before his senior year, and so that's the biggest reason why now he wanted to get it done. He starts his senior year off in Nashville against Lipscomb, Trent Dilfer, and Ed and Nate Spillman, the Spillman brothers, and Caleb Beasley, and several, other Division I top players. So if you're in the Nashville area, or if you're in Tennessee in general, and you want to go see Addison Nichols play, he does start his season on that first opening Friday night, coming up 2 weeks from Friday.
Austin, when you look at this offensive line class as a whole, what are your general thoughts with Addison Nichols and Brian Grant and Mo Clipper and Masai Reddick?
Well, I love Mo Clipper and Addison Nichols. Masai Reddick, having seen him, he looks the part. Now, he doesn't have a great offer list. He's kind of been hidden in a lot of ways with COVID stuff up there in Detroit. We'll be interested to see how he kind of continues to develop. And then, same thing, honestly, with Brian Grant. Grant's a guy that, the more people that have seen him, the more people that have kind of taken notice and liked him. At the FSU Mega Camp, he's just right around the corner from Florida State, where he picked up several offers out of the Big 12. And then talking to a college coach that was at that Mega Camp, they really were really impressed. Several coaches were impressed with Brian Grant. I know in a personal workout that he had for Tennessee, he was very impressive in talking to people. So, again, I think offensive lineman is more of a developmental position. It is easier to, trust me, you want some dudes, but it's easier to take a big body that has good feet and develop them because you, in a lot of ways, you don't ask them to come in and play right away. I do think that, Tennessee's offensive line class is really, really solid. Will they take another one? Probably not from the high school ranks unless just somebody fell their way. But I could see them taking another, transfer. I just think that's the way you're going to go. Like, if you have a recruiting class in, and let's say you're going to take 4 receivers, you take 3 from high school and then leave 1 spot open for a potential transfer. Because I just think that's going to be the way of college football now. You never know when you may need a veteran. You may look at it and go, hey, I need a veteran with speed. I need a veteran that's got a big body, or whatever. I just think that's going to kind of be the way you do it now. Is, you have your recruiting class, you have the number you have by position, and then you normally, whatever that number is, you subtract it by 1 because you want to take somebody from that transfer portal, because I just think that's kind of the direction we are in and are headed and all that.
Austin Price, VolQuest.com. Austin, a lot of players talking to the media today, and I don't think I've ever seen this where you have a quarterback battle with 4 different guys, and all 4 of those quarterbacks will be speaking with the media in one session together. Before we had you on, I said I hope that they do like a quarterback debate, like a presidential debate, and you ask them all the questions, and they try to convince us of why they should be the starting quarterback. And then you let them argue amongst each other. I think it would be great TV. But what kind of went through your mind when you hear that 4 quarterbacks will all be speaking to the media in the middle of a quarterback battle? Because coaches usually don't want to put their players in that type of situation.
I just look at it from a standpoint of I think it's smart on Josh Heupel's part. I mean, you have, you want it to feel open. You want everybody to hear from said players, much like you honestly want, the media is going to get more access, at least the first couple of days, than we've seen in a while. We're talking, a third of practice where we normally see about, 1/8 of a practice or less. And, I think they want, you to see if Harrison Bailey goes 15 for 15, they want you to see it in routes on air or some early team periods. If Joe Milton, is 2 for 12, they want you to see it, or vice versa, or Hendon Hooker or whoever. So I think it's very smart to be open about it, because you want, the players on this team, they're going to know who wins this job. They're going to know who is the best player, and so, I think it behooves Tennessee to have the narrative out there that's crafted by people that have watched it versus, well, I heard so-and-so did well. I just think that, this, for the first time in a long time, Tennessee's got a legitimate quarterback battle. When you go back, JG versus Dormandy, looking back, probably really wasn't a battle. Before that, I mean, Dobbs never was in the mix with Worley, and then by the time when Dobbs finally took over, nobody was pushing him. So, I mean, really back when you played, when you had, Rick Clausen versus Eric Ainge in 2005. Before that, it was, Eric Ainge versus Brent Schaefer. So, it's been a while since you've had a legitimate quarterback battle that kind of wasn't predetermined. And, we'll see who comes out on top. But I think it's smart to let all the guys talk. I think it's smart to let the media see more and more reps and how these kids do. And, just be open with it.
Austin, is Tennessee more likely to score 30 points per game or give up 30 points per game?
Man, that's
Hey, man, I had the same reaction.
I don't know, Ben, and I'd love to answer it. I really would.
I'm sure.
I just don't know because I don't know what these newcomers are going to be. If we're talking about the guys, even if you say, okay, you're going to reinstall like Jeremy Banks and some of those guys that were just hurt in the spring, I would probably lean to give up 30. But I don't know what these new guys are going to be. What's DJ Terry going to be? What's Caleb Tremblay going to be? What's Jawan Mitchell going to be? Apache Mohan, Brandon Turnage, Kamal Haddon. I mean, there have been so many additions to the defensive side of the ball. What are these guys? What are they going to give you? Because, to me, the biggest X factor on this entire team/program is Tim Banks. I think everybody acknowledges Josh Heupel is going to get better offensive play. Can he get the quarterback position fixed? I don't know. That's up to him and Coach Halsley. But I do think even if they just get decent quarterback play, they're going to score points. They'll draw up some plays and get some mismatches. They'll score points. What's the defense look like, though, under Tim Banks? He's never been a DC at this level. I mean, he's been a DC at Illinois, and obviously a co-DC at Penn State. But, I don't think he was calling the show at Penn State. And at Illinois, he was, he was coming to a gunfight with a knife. I mean, I don't think that's fair to judge him on that. So, what's he like? What's he got? He's the X factor to me in this whole season. I really believe that. And, so right now I just don't know. I don't know because I don't know what these new guys can offer.
One thing that I'm paying attention to, Austin, we have seen the last 2 coaching staffs, the last 2 head coaches. We've seen multiple coaching staffs with those 2 coaches, but the last 2 coaches, different styles. You had Pruitt, very heavy-handed when it comes to micromanaging. You have Butch Jones that micromanaged a little bit, but definitely not as much as Coach Pruitt. We have seen, the great Coach Former, have great assistants, let them coach, but still, at the end of the day, he's still the head coach, and he's responsible for who's out there in the football field. It still goes through him. I'm curious to see, okay, how much Josh Heupel is going to micromanage, because I think every head coach has to a certain extent. You just can't micromanage enough to where your coaches feel like they can't do anything. And then you also can't just let them do whatever they want because, they could mess up too. You're the head coach. So, that's something that I'm paying very close attention to because he brought his whole offensive staff. So he's pretty confident about what they're going to do. Doesn't have to be that much hands-on. But this defensive staff are, compiled of a bunch of guys that he hasn't, worked with before as a group. So that's something I'm paying attention to. Austin, what do you expect there, in that department as far as Josh Heupel, micromanaging? How much will he be able to do it while still being effective? Or is he able to kind of take his hands off and let his coaches coach? What do you say about that?
I believe that he will be the most lenient of the head coaches that we've seen in a long time as far as he's going to let his guys do his thing or do their thing. Now, offensively, he's going to have his, thumb on the situation. I mean, he's the play caller. I mean, Alex Golich can have the title all he wants, but the guy calling the play is is Josh Heupel. And so, thus, he'll let, Glenn Ellerbe do his thing with the O-line. He'll let, Jerry Mack do his thing with the running backs. He'll leave the defense alone. I think that's where Coach Pruitt got in trouble, is he kind of, he got a little too involved on offense, especially in year one. And then, I think at times, was probably too involved in everything. Like, felt like he could coach quarterbacks or coach special teams or whatever. Sometimes you got to just let your coaches coach.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there is a fine line because, as you just pointed out, he is the head coach. So for Coach Heupel, if two position coaches make a bad mistake, ultimately it's all going to fall on Josh Heupel. It's no fan's going to go, well, tell you what, Cody Burns really messed up there. It's going to say, what was Josh Heupel thinking? That's going to be the question. So, I do think he's going to be very open to letting his guys do their thing and coach the way they coach. But especially on the offensive side of the ball, he's always going to know what's going on. And, I do think the defensive side, in a lot of ways, I think Tim Banks and that defensive staff will be able to do their own thing. And I don't think Josh Heupel's going to be over there going, I need y'all to blitz more, or I need y'all to, go cover two. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Austin, do you think a starting quarterback will be named game week or prior to game week?
I don't know, man. Everybody's got a kind of a different philosophy on how you handle those things. I almost think it's better off I think it's better off if you know going into the game, like the start of game week, we know quarterback X is going to be the starter. I don't think it behooves you to wait. I mean, like, you're playing Bowling Green, okay? Like, I don't think knowing whether Harrison Bailey or Joe Milton or Brian Mallor or Hendon Hooker is the starter is going to affect them. And so, like, whatever quarterback it is, they're going to have tape for Pittsburgh to see after that game. So I think it behooves you to announce beforehand. That way everybody knows going in. The kids know. The parties that didn't win the job know. The party that did win the job knows. To me, it just makes a lot of sense to get it done probably right at the start of game week, maybe a couple of days before. But I think you'll see some type of movement there. I think the coaches will for sure know before you get to game week who their starter is. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
Austin Price, VolQuest.com. AP, man, always good to have you on, dropping recruiting nuggets, and appreciate you joining us. Busy schedule for you as we approach the start of the Tennessee 2021 football season. So, Austin, man, we'll hear you back here on Tuesday of next week.
Sounds good, Jason. You and Ben have a good day, and football is upon us.
Sounds good, my friend. Thank you so much for your time. Jennifer Morris, JenniferMorris865@gmail.com is how you can contact her. If you want to hit her up on email, if you want to give her a call, you can do that by dialing 865-257-7897. Keller Williams Realty helped Ben get into his first home. Jennifer Morris is the GOAT. We got scheduled a play date with the dogs, too.
All three?
Oh, yeah. All three. Yeah, all three.
Oh, you want to leave my dog out?
Well, I mean, Jennifer, her dog, and my dog, they already. No, not yet.
They haven't met yet, have they?
Not yet. Haven't met yet. Her
Turner
dog
met the girls.
Yeah, her dog met the girls, but my dog and her dog have not met yet. So, yeah, we got to do a play date with all three, man.
Yo, I will say Judge, Turner, and Ace. Those are three great dog names.
They really are. Yeah, we really are. So
well, we're smart people, but can't encourage you to reach out to Jennifer Morris enough. She has been phenomenal in helping my wife and I get into our first house. About to head on over to go through our final inspection after the show's over and sign on the dotted line, sign my life away, at least the next 10 years of it tomorrow. So can't encourage you to reach out to Jennifer Morris enough. She has been phenomenal for us in a tough time to find a house.
House party at the McKees coming
right.
soon, man. I got a smoker with your name on it, man. We're gonna break it in. I mean, it's pretty much broken in, but we're gonna get it going over at the McKees house for sure this summer, man. If you have no time. Thank you to Austin Price for joining the program today. Hour 3 will continue after this.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Man, did someone on the text box said that the fastest that they have ever driven was 120 something miles per hour?
127, according to John K.
My goodness.
JRLCM said 115 between Lebanon and Mount Juliet on I-40. Or Lebanon, I guess I should say. Yeah. Not the country Lebanon.
Lebanon.
I was looking at the other stuff in the sentence. Brother-in-law's 69, nice, Camaro RS with a 327 engine. Volstorm was talking about a V6 in my Charger. Yes, I have the poor version of the Charger. I only have a V6.
VFL Dustin T5 says about 5 years ago, went 155 miles per hour on his motorcycle. I was young and dumb. You right about that? You was definitely dumb.
Y'all are crazy. Look, I'm not one who gets out of their comfort zone often. I'm a very cautious person. I like to ease into things. I'm the type that
not that day.
I don't.
105.
Yeah, but okay. I don't even think it was like 101, and
with those Bama tags.
Let me get to 100 and go back down.
You better be glad I wasn't a police officer. I'd have pulled you over and arrested your butt, took you to jail for reckless endangerment, especially with those Bama tags. Bama tags? Oh yeah. I need backup.
He would have
called SWAT team.
He would have seen my Tennessee alumni license plate outline on top of the Bama license plate.
Yeah, I'd have pulled you over, called the SWAT, but then
you would have pulled over a fellow alum.
Yeah, I'd have pulled you over, and then I would have walked up to the window just to check out, make sure that you were definitely a Tennessee alum or the car wasn't stolen or something, and then I would have gave you a warning. All right, son, you can go. You graduated Tennessee? Cool. All right. You Tennessee fan? Okay. All right. Warning. But if the speed limit is 70 and you go 71 and I see Bama stickers on your car, oh man. Oh, step out the car, please. Step out the car. Partner, come on. I need you to do a full cavity search. I'm not gonna do it, but partner, you do it. Come on.
You're annoying.
Come on, partner.
I went right back down. I'm
Get
a
up in there.
cautious person. So, like always, Vols says 143 on chasing a bike. 130 on my French Street bike, according to Corey Counts.
Y'all are criminals.
B-Rad says went 146 in Memphis in a 16 Hellcat 4 years ago. Vaughn Birmingham 130 and a Mustang Cobra one night on 65 South.
It's easy to do that on 65.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, when I went to the beach last week, leaving Birmingham, I was on 65 South. I was rolling.
Yes,
I wasn't doing no 100 in my wife's car, but I was still rolling. I'm just not. You'll never catch me going that fast. I'm the type that I don't jump into the pool. I go down to the steps on the shallow end, and I walk in, and I don't like cold water, so I like to ease in and let my my body adjust. I don't do roller coasters. I like riding four-wheelers and whatnot, but I'm not out here like doing tricks on them or popping wheelies or like going super fast. I'm a cautious person.
Yeah, I don't do roller coasters because I get motion sickness. But when it comes to jumping in a pool, I don't waste any time, man. I'm jumping in deep end. Ain't got time to be dipping my toe in the water. Let's go. Jump straight on in. But, man, y'all are crazy. Driving this fast?
Yeah, y'all crazy. The only time I'll ever be going that fast is if I somehow find myself at a NASCAR track and I'm in like a NASCAR with a driver.
I remember it was May the 30th, 2008. Why do I know this date? It's because it was the day my daughter was born. And like we had a scheduled like induction. But the movies and on TV, you see like the lady in the car and they water break in the car. Then you rush to the hospital and like you speed to the hospital. So I was like, man, this would be a good reason to speed. If we get pulled over, like, come on, the police officer ain't gonna give us a ticket. You in labor. She was like, it's a scheduled induction. Well, we still gonna speed. So the appointment was like we had to be there like at 6. So I woke up at 5 and on I-20 because my daughter was born in right outside Lithonia, Rockdale County. I got to 100 that day, just because I knew I would have a free get out of jail card if I got pulled over. Like, come on, man, your wife is pregnant. My girlfriend's pregnant. Come on now.
Would you ever get in a NASCAR like at Daytona and go around with the driver?
Nah, I'm good.
But you're with somebody, and it's safe.
Man,
they're not racing others, so they're not as likely to wreck.
I would be seeing, like, it'd be like little Tweety birds flying around my head.
Oh, I would be nervous.
I would be so.
You know how
so
fast
dizzy.
they go at Daytona too.
It's like 200 and something.
Yes.
Yeah, I would be so. Dude, I would be.
I would
so
probably
dizzy.
pee on myself.
Oh, I definitely pee on myself. I would probably wear a diaper before I went, though.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Who's on the phone?
We've got Foxvall and then Jay.
Foxville, I know you breaking the law. How fast were you going?
Whatever, man. Whatever.
I know you got a couple high speed chases in your day.
I got slots for a reason now. Come on now. Come on. Ben understands. You got the same nickname.
Hey man, it's good to hear from you, my friend.
Yeah, you too, man. No, the fastest I ever drove was I was taking my wife to the hospital, but it wasn't for pregnancy reasons. It was for a kidney stone. Man, if you never had a kidney stone, I completely understood. No judgment.
I had to take my wife to the ER like 2 months ago because of a kidney stone, and it was one of the worst drives of my life.
Dude.
From West Knoxville to UT Medical. Oh, it was one of the worst 30 minutes of my life, 20 minutes.
That is the worst pain. And, Knoxville, too, man, hitting all those potholes. That thing is moving.
Yes, she couldn't sit down. It hurt her to sit up straight, so she was like trying to lay down.
No, dude, you got to walk.
Throwing
like
up,
you can't. I had one a couple of months ago. It was the first one I ever had. And, man, that was the worst pain I've ever had in my life. And I'm talking like I've snapped my shin bone in two, everything, man. Kidney stone was the worst.
That's crazy. I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was calling in to ask a couple of questions about fall camp and everything. And, I was going to comment on something, too. Since Austin Price mentioned Harrison Bailey's name first, that means he's a starter, right?
Oh, no doubt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah, he's first.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of alphabetical order, too.
Yeah. How many people you think will draw that conclusion?
Oh, many.
The other day, I was writing out all the quarterbacks on VolQuest, and I put them in alphabetical order so nobody could say that I was putting one first for a reason.
I mean, if it's alphabetical order, that means Milton is last.
Well, by last name. Oh,
yeah. He's got to be. Yeah. It'll be the water boy, I guess. No, the fall camp, it starts tomorrow, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, are they going to be doing practice in the mornings or in the afternoons?
In the mornings.
Okay, and that's do they do 2 days during fall camp?
No, they don't do 2 days anymore, man. They that was phased out when I started playing. I remember when the year before I got there, they did freshman fall camp. So the freshmen would come in first, and then the rest of the team. So kind of like rookie mini camp in NFL. My year was the first year they didn't do the freshman stuff anymore, and we all came in together. And we had like a few two-a-days, but they started to phase out during my time, and now you don't see them at all anymore.
I got you.
You might see a walkthrough, but not true practicing.
How long does it usually take during fall camp before I'm sure there's not an exact number, but before you start seeing players kind of hit that wall? You start seeing, okay, this one is able to kind of work through pain and fatigue. This guy, he's showing he doesn't have as much resiliency. And, when is about that kind of area where you start to see players separate?
Between scrimmage 1 and scrimmage 2 is what I would say.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you're going every day, and that sun's beating up on you. And then you got the long days of, meeting times. You're meeting all the way up to 9 at night, and then you have your snack. If you want to spend a little bit of time on the phone, you can do that. But like it's wall to wall from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. And I would probably say after that first scrimmage, because you're gonna be hitting. And that's really the first time where your body has went through that, and so you're gonna be sore. I don't care how much in shape you are in running in shorts. June, July, you can be running like an African at the Olympics. God, I hope I don't get canceled.
Oh, you're gonna get canceled.
But you can be in shape like that.
To say that though,
huh?
You're allowed to say it.
You can be in shape like them Kenyans be in shape, man. They be running 23 miles, but it's different when you get hit with them pads on. It's a different type of soreness.
That's why they emphasize the ice tubs, ice baths after practice.
It's a different type of soreness. So I would say between the first scrimmage and second scrimmage is usually when I would hit that wall and see other guys hit that wall. And then usually when that happens, coaches kind of schedule practice when they see that, they'll try to schedule practice in a way so they can still get the best out of your players. So what's the point of scheduling an important part of practice when no one has any legs? So you will see some adjustments being made to the schedule. You probably won't see it publicly, but coaches do kind of adjust the schedule when those players hit that wall.
I got you, man. I want to get out of here. It's good talking to you guys. Oh, Ben, can we get more information about the Yankees, please? Y'all have a nice day.
Not a good night for the Yankees last night. Crickets. I am not speaking about the Yankees because Volstorm is an emotional blankety-blank, and I don't want to trigger him.
You think I'm going to get canceled for saying that you could be in shape like the Kings running at the Olympics?
Because you're black and you can say that. If I had said it, then I probably would have got canceled.
Honestly, that's not bad at all. Because
it's not. Like I thought about making a joke about you jumping into the deep end of the pool earlier, but I thought it'd be best not to.
Oh, I can swim. Forget those stereotypes about what you hear about black people can't swim. I can swim.
I know.
I can swim. And the best black swimmer I know was Anthony Parker.
Really?
Yes.
What makes him the best black swimmer that you know?
Because he was swimming like a killer shark back in the day when we would do pool workouts for the guys who were a little injured. So we would go over to the aquatic center and we would do pool workouts outside, and we had to swim laps. And I'm like, yeah, man, come on, y'all, come on, because everything's a competition. Like you want to compete all the time. And so of course we competed, and I took swim lessons when I was young, back at the YMCA, back in Huntsville, Alabama, Blue Springs Road. I remember, and I thought I was just gonna blow Anthony Parker out the water. Man, that dude was swimming like a whale, like a killer whale. Like he was like Black Michael Phelps. I'm not even kidding.
The big black Michael Phelps.
Man, he really was, man. Best swimmer ever that I've witnessed in the pool. But, I haven't been in the pool that much, so that probably speaks for itself there. But, no, don't let that stereotype get you because I can swim. I can swim. I can do my thing. 865, 250.
I've never seen you swim, so I don't know.
Well, I can swim. I'm just telling you. Who's on the phone next?
I want to see you swim. Jay.
Jay, good morning.
Swain, the swimming extraordinaire. Swain, all my black friends, when they got in the pool, they would just keep their shirt on. Why is that?
Because to keep the sun off of you. Because that sun, man, woo. Because I do it. I've done it ever since I was in college, man. You keep the sun off of you. So here's where we're different. So you won't see any black folks out there, laying out trying to get a tan. They ain't doing that. We tan enough, all right? We good there. So, but how we react to the sun is different. And so I don't like the sun beating on me. So I usually wear a shirt, and then when I get into the pool, and I did this even when I was at wide receiver weight, when I get into the pool and get out, you keep the sun off of you, and it's a whole lot better. So you'll see guys wear long sleeves in fall camp because when you sweat, the shirt is is wet and it helps keep you cool. So that's why you see black folks with shirts on in the pool. That or they just really really fat and they don't want to they want people to see it. Those are the two reasons.
Well, Swain, I was talking to my old man yesterday, and he likes listening to the 99.1 station. It's just what he's always listened to, and
okay.
I've tried to. He's listened to you a few times. I've tried, but I guess he's just a creature of habit. But anyways, he's telling me he's listening to the Eric Haynes show, and he says, "Well, yeah, you're, Eric was on there yesterday talking about Jason Swain." I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Eric said that Jason Swain, pro or college, has the best hands of any wide receiver he's ever seen."
Yeah,
I'm thinking, no, that can't be Jason Swain.
Yeah, those are facts.
I think Meacham had better hands.
That's a lie.
He said Meacham was the fastest. He said Meacham was the most explosive, but he said if the ball hit Jason Swain's hand, it was being caught.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, man. Everybody that played on my team knows that.
Now, what do you think about that, Ben? You think that's the case, or
how would Ben know?
Because I played NCAA 04, and I would throw to Brett Smith and Robert Meacham or Chris Brown. That's who I would go to.
Oh man, Jason had those
stickums,
like that kid off the Little Giants that had that.
He had the stickums on his gloves.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You catch the ball and it makes this noise. Stickums.
That's why
right to the ball.
That's why the major league pitchers were getting in trouble because they were using the same stuff, and when they would release the pitch, it sounded like Velcro rip it off. And last year in COVID, when the stadium was empty, you could hear it all throughout the stadium.
That's how I was saying when I would catch the ball, just snag it out the air. That's one thing I will take pride in. I did really well was catch the ball with my little hands.
Did you work at that, Swain? Was you a guy that was just always on the jugs, or was it just kind of just come natural?
Always on the jugs, and it came natural.
Yeah.
Which is why I hate that I didn't play baseball, because I realized like I had some great hand-eye coordination, and that's a lot of it when it comes to receiver. You can have big hands all day, every day, but if you don't follow the football from the moment that it leaves the quarterback's hand, and you're able to follow that ball all the way to the tuck when you catch it, then you're going to drop the football. And so I just was really good at following the football with the hand-eye coordination. So that's really the only reason, because I have really small hands. My 13-year-old daughter's hands are the same size as mine.
My hands are bigger than yours.
Yeah. Your hands are bigger than mine.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I got small hands.
Was you a decent basketball player?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Because that usually helps. It seems like guys who plays basketball and football, they seem to have.
Yeah, it was. If my hands were bigger, it probably would have been easier to handle the basketball. But I think that's the reason why it was a little bit more difficult for me than others. But yeah, I played basketball AAU all the way up to I think junior year in high school. You know, was ranked in top 200. Had some football, basketball offers to play both, but I had to pick one, so it was football.
Yeah.
Ben seen the jump shot. Rodney and Austell seen the jump shot.
Rodney seen it from the ground.
Rodney seen the crossover.
His knee felt the crossover too.
Yeah, I thought that was funny though, man. I thought that was interesting. I remember y'all talking about that, and so I thought I'd let you know. But guys, are we going to be practicing? Is it going to be always in the morning? Do you know?
Unfortunately.
Yep.
What do y'all think about that as far as getting acclimated to heat? Because don't we have to? I mean, early season games are hot, but then aren't we going to Florida? I mean, could that kind of be? You think that's a big deal? No big deal?
I mean, it could be a big deal. I mean, that Florida heat's no joke. I played that 2003 noon game in Florida, and Mark Jones needed an IV. He played both ways. I played a lot in that game. It was hot. You can feel your skin bubbling. It was that hot. So
that's what I'm saying. If we're doing nothing but morning practices and all of a sudden we go to Florida early in the season, I don't.
Yeah.
That seems like, that because I remember I think Oregon, I mean, they won because they were just better, but I think Oregon was talking about when they came down here with the humidity. They, early in the year, I think it was when Chip Kelly and, Oregon kind of talked about how the humidity got to them. And, if you're not used to that, it'll affect you.
It is a factor. You better believe it. And that was a concern that I had. I won't say concern, but it was a question that I had, practicing in the morning. And Tennessee's playing a lot of noon games start the season because, quite frankly, we're just not good right now. And so you're going to play noon games. But, yeah, I thought the same thing. I remember going to LSU, and that's probably that heat was just – it was like an 800-pound gorilla. It was on you. I remember we went to Miami in November. It was like 40 degrees in Knoxville. We go down there, it's like 90. It was just different. So I think the weather is something that if you're Josh Heupel, you need to pay close attention to start the season. And, maybe you schedule some of those practices a little bit later so you can get some of that heat. And you're able to do that because class won't start for another couple of weeks. So you're able to do that now before class starts.
South Louisiana heat. I used to live down there. I swear to God. I mean, you feel like you're just suffocating all the time.
Absolutely. But yeah, Angel's right, man. That's probably the truest thing Angels will ever say on the radio. That I had the best hands on the team.
All right, man. Well, y'all hang in there, guys.
See you. Volstorm's next. Volstorm, good morning.
So now we know the truth. Jason Swain cheated.
Cheated? How?
Cheated.
What are you talking about?
Best hands on the team. I'm sure it is when you're covered with stickum.
I never used that before.
Sure.
Not once in my life. Never used them. Never had to.
Hey, it's okay. The statute of limitations is run out.
I could tell you some other stuff about statute of limitations that I did, but
all right, Arian.
Go for it.
But
yeah, see how quickly you.
But I ain't gonna say
Go
anything.
for it. You've already opened the door.
Shout out to Auburn.
Go for what? You want me to tell you that I did not
Yeah.
follow all the NCAA rules? Okay, I did not follow all the NCAA rules. There's so many stupid ones; it's easy to break them. I won't be
I
specific
don't care
though.
ones about getting free food and stuff.
I won't be specific though.
Free tacos.
Him and Arian Foster went on a late night run.
I got free
With
food.
Trooper.
I got free food before my 4 years in Tennessee. That's nothing.
You still getting free food.
It depends. Volstorm takes me out to lunch. It's different. It's like
I will
different
when
free
you
food.
will.
It's like different free food now. Now it's like business meetings if you invited to lunch. Then it was more like, hey, nice play on Saturday.
When you get tackled at the 1 yard line against Florida, here's a free meal.
The angle doesn't show.
Almost,
The angle.
It counted in the record books, but still fake touchdown.
Hey, the angle does not show me sticking the ball out.
Your little T-Rex arms wasn't going to push it across the goal line.
Stop.
It's T-Rex arms with a stickum on it.
Hey, man, I was like, expect the gadget. I was like, expect the gadget.
Oh, with his small hands.
Go touchdown on that play, man. The referee on that side saw me stick the ball out.
No, he did it. There's a player blocking his view.
No
That's
hesitation.
That's why he thought you scored.
No hesitation. I stuck the ball out. Touchdown. Oh, y'all hating, man. Y'all some haters. Y'all some haters. I scored that touchdown.
Meacham would have made the touchdown. It wouldn't have been a question.
It wasn't a question. It was a touchdown. No review, even though they didn't have review that year, but it wouldn't have been review anyways because it was a touchdown. I stuck the ball out. The angle doesn't show that.
Guys, before I go, I just want to say, Jay, you're a bad son for allowing your dad to listen to Captain Goalpost. See you, boys!
I'm going to go back to the phones. I don't know why y'all be putting me in these bad situations. It ain't funny, Ben. Sit up. Sit your head up. Stop laughing, Ben. Just push the button so I can get the Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning. How we doing?
We're good. We're good, man.
What's the mean guy's head down? Is he praying?
You over here laughing because Volstorm throwing some shade.
Man.
Like
Hey.
Ben's never heard that before.
I'm going to ask Ben a baseball question real quick, and then I was also going to
As long
ask
as it's
him
not
to
about
do
the
me a
team
favor.
in the
When
Bronx,
he
so I
goes
can't
to
answer it.
first of all, football-wise, when you sit down with those quarterbacks, ask them what their autographs worth right now. Then we can see where it goes to from there. We have later on, we'll know who's starting and who's the quarterback later on.
I'll see what I can do for you, Turkey Man.
All right, I'd like to have autographs from them if they ain't too high.
Whose autograph?
I think I'd like to have what is that? What number 15's name?
Harrison Bailey.
Yeah.
Gonna cost
I'd
you.
like to have his number.
I can get you Jarrett Garantano's autograph.
Boy, oh boy. You had about 10 minutes. You didn't have to say that. That thing was we started work on Neyland Stadium. Not Neyland Stadium, but the baseball thing. Lindsey Nelson.
No.
When we going to break ground on that?
ASAP.
So what's the plan? You got a plan on it?
ASAP.
The plan is ASAP, but they have to go through all the city building council meeting things that are way above my head that I don't understand before they can break ground.
They ordered the crane, Turkey Man. They're waiting on the crane to come.
I remember the crane. Don't you remember that?
Yeah,
Remember
Charlie and
the
I made
crane.
it on the news for sitting outside in front watching it, providing commentary for it coming down.
Well, touchdown turnover will Heupel's picture be on the jumbotron?
Turnover, Turkey Man.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here, guys.
See you, man. Hyper got to win some games first. You got to win some games, man. I don't want to see no coach on there that ain't won any games. Coach Foreman can be on there. Gerald Neely can be on there. Johnny Majors can be on there. You got to win some games to be on the jumbotron. I'm sorry. I like Heupel, but still.
Well, you think he's going to average 40 and give up like 12 this year, so I think he's going to win plenty of games.
Oh, my gosh. I hope people don't really believe what you just said. Who's next?
Dave Toner.
Dave Toner, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, Dave Toner?
Another day in paradise.
Now, you do live in Florida.
So, since we're requesting questions to be asked of the quarterbacks, do y'all know what question I want asked?
Well, you hate Brian Maurer, so I know it's not going to be for Brian Maurer.
No, it probably will be for Ron Meyer. When are you going to transfer is what you probably going to ask him.
Man, Swaino, you're smarter than I thought.
You ain't right, man. You ain't
Hey,
right.
y'all want to know something funny?
Not really.
So I'm listening to the show right after you said about the Olympian thing, and then you said you hope you don't get canceled, and Ben says, well, you're black, you can say that, but if I said that, I lost signal. I thought y'all got canceled. I was like, wow, it really happened.
That was quick, man. They canceled people on the spot.
All right, guys, I'll let someone else get in here.
Hey, see you.
Brad makes a good point on the text box. They have done work to the baseball stadium. They added 2021 to the outfield wall to signal that they made it to the College World Series.
I thought you said they pressure washed. I was like, but nobody called me. I could have helped.
Pressure wash. They need to tear that dungeon down.
And build it from scratch.
Yes, please.
Who paying for it?
Anybody.
Who?
Tennessee. Peyton. Call Peyton.
Yeah.
He knows people.
Peyton about to get that ESPN money.
Peyton's busy. He goes into the Hall of Fame this weekend.
That is right.
With the great Troy Polamalu, baby.
And Calvin Johnson.
I can't believe the Lions wasted him. What a worthless organization.
So worthless. So worthless. All right, let me hit the text box before we wrap up today's show. Jonathan 77. If you want to get a Angels autograph, you can call in his show, set it up, or tweet him. He'll give you an autograph, Jonathan 77. Rev says I bought him food too. Yeah, Rev did take me out to take me out to lunch. I probably had more free lunches as a has-been than I was as a player. Probably should have made more plays. Rodney says, "See, there y'all go. Talking about basketball." My bad, Rodney. I hope your knee is better.
You brought it on yourself, Rodney.
Chip Payne says Swain got that kid swim vest with the floaties, swimming in the shallow end. No, I can swim, man, for real. I ain't read what Jackson said. Joe in Augusta says best friend growing up had a 9-second streetcar, got us up to 130 on 520 in Augusta. He is a NHRA driver now. My goodness. Nah, y'all can have that.
Y'all crazy.
Yeah, I can have that, man. 100, that is fast enough. To do 115 and a 55, which is what the Clemson player did, and someone is hurt. I mean, how does that Clemson player even play this year? He almost killed somebody. The victim is going to be in the hospital for for months, is what the reports said. Like, that's whew. Good luck with that, Dabo. But when you're winning and a small town like Clemson, you can do what you want, I guess. I don't think anyone's going to challenge Dabo on the discipline of that player because he runs the show. That's just the way it is. It's the way it is. Colin Graham on YouTube says, Ben, do you have Taven winning the job next year and Addison as a day one starter? My goodness.
I hope Taven doesn't win the job next year because that means that this year is going to be
I hope not either.
miserable. I know it's a funny conversation to have about Taven Jackson coming in and playing from day one. It's funny in the sense of you would think it's something you want to root for, but in reality you don't want to root for Taven Jackson playing from day one because that means Joe Milton did not succeed, Harrison Bailey did not succeed, Hendon Hooker will graduate and move on. But that tells you that Joe Milton and Harrison Bailey did not prove enough or succeed enough because Taven Jackson is not the type that's just going to come in and take the job from them even if those two were balling out.
I do not want a freshman quarterback to come in and start unless they come in like Trevor Lawrence. And they're so good that you can't keep them on the sideline. That's the only way. Peyton Manning didn't come in as a true, starter day one. It just doesn't happen. And if it happens, that means either you are in trouble or that player is that special. Simple as that.
And who was Trevor Lawrence didn't have any steep competition. It was Kelly Bryant, wasn't it?
Kelly Bryant was a starter.
Not steep competition.
I mean, I guess you could say no because
his statistics looked good, but look at Clemson's schedule and then look at what Kelly Bryant did at Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, but even Trevor Lawrence, as great as he was, didn't come in and start day one.
Correct.
Even as great as Justin Fields wound up being, he didn't come in and start day one.
Shout out to Kirby.
And he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't the best quarterback day one. So Kirby didn't mess that one up. I don't want a true freshman quarterback to come in and start from day one unless they're special. And I just named some special quarterbacks that didn't even start day one. So I shouldn't rely on that. I don't want that to happen. All right, who's on the phone?
I can see Addison Nichols starting from day one, though, if left tackle doesn't get sorted out this year. There's just not a left tackle, waiting in the wings.
I don't want any freshman lineman starting day one.
I don't either, but who else is going to start? You better go get a transfer.
Aaron Sears didn't start day one, and he's probably the best football player I've ever played with.
Yeah, I agree, but you also understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
There's nobody on the roster.
I understand what you're saying.
Let's get to CMAC real
Transfer
quick.
portal. CMAC, good morning.
Good morning, Swain.
Took one day, man.
McKee.
You're not going to guilt trip me for one day. Mm-mm.
I ain't guilt tripping nobody. I'm just saying you messed up a whole lot of people's Friday they was looking forward to.
My bad. My bad.
Good.
My bad. I'll make it up.
I hope it was a good one.
Y'all should be sending me on vacation. I'm sure you enjoyed it more when I wasn't here.
Who is that talking? I must got some echo on my phone.
You're right.
You just proved my point of what I told you when I answered the phone.
You ain't right, C-Mac.
I'm just saying, the solo hours that we had with Swain was some really good content.
Hey, man.
Reason why I'm calling this morning.
I'm not signing up for that anytime soon. That is not for just anybody, man. That's not easy at all.
That was some work, man. You put in some for real work.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here today, man, I just wanted to call in and wish a really good friend a happy birthday, if that's okay with you guys.
Please, yeah.
Greta, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. You're an incredible individual. You are a testament to what being a member of, Ball Nation is. I hope your day is incredible. Your day is what you make it, and I hope it's extremely happy. So happy birthday to you, G. Swain, Ben, y'all have a good day, man. I'll holler at y'all later.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. We have a former Vol player who's having surgery today. I did not get clearance on making it public, so I won't say their name. Just keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And hopefully the surgery is successful. And maybe tomorrow I'll be able to provide some type of update. Anytime you have surgery, it's serious, so I don't want to make it come off like it's not a serious surgery, but it's not like cancer or anything like that, or transplant. But it is surgery, so just keep this former player in your thoughts and prayers. So we'll take a 21-hour break, and then we'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. as Tennessee gets it cracking. First day of fall camp. We'll have plenty to discuss, as half of the team will be talking to the media along with Josh Heupel and the coordinators, Alex Golish, and Tim Banks, defense coordinator. So for Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. We hope you have a great day, a fantastic day. We'll be back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Peace and love. We are out.